Good evening, race fans. Welcome back to another Wednesday night here for the Crown Athletics Racing Tours. Tonight they take on the first short track of the season here for season one. Tonight they hit Iowa and the cornfields, as they like to call this track. And so far, go ahead and get to the ticker here for everyone so that way you can see all the drivers. Looks like Rashawn Jared is up in the first spot here in practice, I should say, with a 23.516. Walker Thomas in second with a 23.521. Zach Linger in third with a 23.528. Aiden Kirker fourth with a 23.531. And Brady Peters rounding out the top five here with a 23.591. But let's go ahead and get down to the championship standings here real quick. As they're getting ready here to gear up for the fourth race of the season. Jared Rashawn in first with 106 points. Zach Linger in second with 102. He's 4 behind Jared. Brian Jones in third with 100, 6 behind the leader, and 2 behind Zach. Walker Thomas in fourth with 99 points, 7 behind the leader, and 1 behind Brian. Scotty Grove there in fifth spot with 89 points, 17 behind the leader, and 10 behind Walker. Brady Peters in fifth as well with 89 points, 17 behind the leader, and 10 behind Walker. Back in seventh, we got Nathan Yarnell, 87 points, 19 behind the leader, 2 behind Brad and Scotty Grove. Down in eighth, we have Josh Duke, 83 points, 23 behind the leader, 4 behind Nathan. Bradley Williams in ninth, 65 points, 41 behind the leader, 18 behind Josh. And then rounding out in 10th spot, we got William Rucker with 56 points, 50 behind the leader, 9 behind Bradley. Back in 11th, Justin Summer, 55 points, 51 behind the leader, 1 behind William. Aiden Kirker in 12th with 52 points, 54 behind the leader, 3 behind Justin. Dylan Williams sitting in 13th, 47 points, 59 behind the leader, and 5 behind Aiden. Lance Anthony here in 14th spot, 45 points, 61 behind the leader, 2 behind Dylan. Got Scott Watson in 15th with 44 points, 62 behind the leader, 1 behind Lance. Andrew Frazier in 16th, 39 points, 67 behind the leader, and 5 behind Scott. Got Tom Bourne in 17th, 34 points, 72 behind the leader, 5 behind Andrew. Shane Theron, 31 points, 75 behind the leader, 3 behind Tom. James Langriven, 27 points, 79 behind the leader, 4 behind Shane. And then rounding out, also in 19th, but technically 20th, we got Jordan Weaver. He also has 27 points, 79 behind the leader, 4 behind Shane. So that is, Shane. That will conclude the championship standings here where they sit coming into tonight's race. As we go ahead and pull up that driver bar on John Creighton right now, sitting here in 10th spot here in practice with a 23.759 as his lap time. But it is only practice. Anything can change between now and qualifying. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching. Looks like we got 1 like out there, and we had 3 viewers out there just a little bit ago. Looks like we're down to 2 now. But thank you all for tuning in here this evening as we go ahead and gear up for qualifying here. Hit about the minute and a half mark, we're going to go ahead and step away and play the national anthem. But until then, we're just going to go through the field here and see the different drivers out here on track. You got Lindgren out here. But you got Rashawn out here on track. Walker Thomas, he's coming out of pit road. He's sitting third here in practice now. Got Aiden Kirker, he was out here on track. He's sitting here on pit road now. In the Tentworth 39 machine. Got Brad B. Peters out here on track. He's sitting 5th right now in practice. Got Brian Jones, not on track, but he's sitting 6th. John Creighton 7th. Scotty Grove here in 8th spot. If I can get on him. There we go. We got James sitting on pit road 9th, and then Dylan rounding out the top 10. Nathan Yarnell here in 11th in that Cat 15 machine. So we're going to go ahead, folks, as they're getting ready here, coming down to the last minute of practice before qualifying. We're going to go ahead, step away, play the national anthem. Don't go anywhere, folks. We will be right back. Alright, folks, welcome back as qualifying is underway here. And we'll go ahead and get the drivers out here on track. It looks like right now we got 7 drivers out here on track here for qualifying. They do get 5 minutes. Probably look for some to hold off to about the 3-minute mark to get out here on track. As James lost it there coming out of turn number 2, he's going to go ahead and reset and try again. Looks like we got Jared up to the top spot. Walker Thomas here sitting in 5th spot right now. Zach Lindgren in 2nd. Got Bradley Peters here in 4th. Brian Jones 3rd. Walker Thomas, as I mentioned, in 5th. John Creighton sitting here in 6th spot. Got Aiden Kirker out here just getting out here on track. Got Nathan Yarnell out here. I think he's coming to his first lap. And that will put him in 7th spot for right now. And looks like that's where he's going to qualify. Depending on where Aiden finishes up here in qualifying, as he's on his first lap right now. Definitely going to be interesting here. Looks like, in practice, these guys were definitely fighting a loose handling car through the turns. As Aiden Kirker is going to go ahead and pop up to 6th spot there on his first lap. Let's see here how the second lap goes for Aiden, as James is sitting at the end of pit road in 10th spot. And Aiden will move up to 2nd spot. Walker Thomas up to the pole. Got Scotty Grove out here on track, I do believe. There he is. He's sitting in 8th spot right now. And it looks like he will remain in 8th spot. James is the only driver left out here on track, and he is sitting on the end of pit road as we are coming down to the last minute of qualifying here. Oh, you got Tom Bourne is out here on track now. Oh, I spoke a little too soon about that. We'll see here what Tom's going to be able to do here, coming down to the last minute here, qualifying. Looks like he's riding that, looks like he touched the wall there, possibly. So I don't think that lap will count. I could be wrong. He could have missed it. And yeah, it did not count for Tom. So he's going to go ahead and try again here, coming down for the last 20 seconds of qualifying, going down into turn number 3 and 4. And coming out of turn number 4, looks like he's going to be able to lay down a lap time of a 23.579. No, 23.562. Put him up to 7th here for qualifying, as qualifying has wrapped up officially here for these guys. Let's go ahead and get them down to the starting grid here for the 4th race of Season 1 for the Crown Athletics Racing Tour Next Gen Cars here at Iowa. Starting in row number 1, we got Walker Thomas there in the 12 machine, starting on the pole. Congratulations once again to Walker. And starting beside him in second to 39 of Aiden Kirker. Back in row number 2. Oops. Wrong button. Back in row number 2, we got Jared Rashawn starting 3rd in that 60 machine. Zach Lingerin starting 4th in the 85. In row number 3, we got Brian Jones starting 5th in that 45 machine. Brad D. Peters 6th in the 05. In row 4, we got the 06 of Tom Bourne starting 7th. The 66 of John Creighton starting 8th. Row number 5, we got the 55 of Scotty Grove starting 9th. Starting 10th, the 15 of Nathan Yarnell. On row number 6, we got the 116 of Bradley Williams starting 11th. The 87 of James Lingriven. I know I'm saying that wrong somehow. He's starting 12th anyway. In row number 7, rounding out the field in 13th, we got the 32 of Dylan Williams rounding out the field here tonight at Iowa, as these drivers are gridding up. They do get 2 minutes to grid here. And then they're going to go ahead and get 2 pace laps in. We're going to go ahead and get that green flag out and get the show on the road here for everybody for 150 laps here at Iowa. Let's go ahead real quick and give you guys the weather here for Iowa tonight in Newton, USA. It's 69 degrees, partly cloudy skies. We got a track temp of 77 degrees, humidity 18%. Winds coming out of the southeast at 4 miles an hour. No fog in the area. No rain in sight, so the track will be dry here for these drivers at Iowa tonight. And make sure, folks, if you have not already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that like button and hit that notification bell. That way you go ahead and get informed anytime Extreme Racing TV goes live for not only the Crown Athletics Racing Tour, but also the Iceman Sim Racing League. Both broadcasted back-to-back nights, Tuesday nights for the ISRL and Wednesday nights for the Crown Athletics Racing Tour. And thank you all for the support coming out here and supporting the leagues. each and every night that they are on. As we are getting ready to get that green flag, if I'm spotted one of these drivers here, I'm going to tell them to hunker down. You got 150 laps here. It might not seem like a long race, but just hunker down here for the long haul and be ready for whatever may come your way. As the pace car dives off to the safety of pit road, and we are green flag racing here tonight at Iowa for the fourth race of the Crown Athletics Racing Tour. Go ahead and get on Walker Thomas here. Looks like Aiden Kirker is going to lead that lap over Walker Thomas. Zach Lingren right back here in third. Fighting on the outside there of Walker as well, trying to take that second spot away. And back here we got Brad Peters on the outside of the, I think that's the 60 of Jared Rashawn. And we're going to go 3 wide here going down to the turn number 1 with the 45 getting loose going down to the turn number 1. And he's able to save it and keep it going. Good save there by Brian, but he's going to lose a lot of spots here because he was fighting for that third spot, and he's, well, fourth spot, I should say. And he's managed to drop it all the way right now. He is in 8th spot. Up here towards the front because Zach Lindgren is all over Aiden Kirker, as Aiden's going to be able to lead another lap here tonight. Got up 4 laps led for Aiden Kirker here early on in the race. But as the saying goes, it doesn't matter where you start, it's where you finish. We have a caution here. Let's go ahead and see if I can. Where that happened at. Gonna do a replay here. Probably gonna have to go back a couple. And go back one more time. Happened back here. Yes, the 32. That would be Dylan Williams here. Looks like he was on the outside trying to get around Scotty Grove there. And the car just looked like it snapped loose on him. Tried to save it up into the outside wall. Unfortunate there for Dylan, but it is early on in the race here. Not sure if they do get a fast repair. We'll see here. No, I don't think they do get a fast repair. Scotty and Dylan are on pit road, and Dylan's still without a front clip, well, front bumper. We got Aiden up in the top spot, Zach Lindgren second, Walker Thomas third, and Jared Rashawn fourth. Tom Bourne rounding out your top 5 here, as they should be getting the one to go here this time by. See here if that pace car turns its lights off here at the start finish line. And the lights stay on the pace car, so we will have another lap here under the yellow. Well, at least 2 more laps, I should say. Okay, now the pace car lights are off. Now they're going to get double foul here. Go ahead and get them going once again next time by. Pace car dives off to the safety of pit road. It's in Aiden's hands, and he is back on the gas. We were back green flag racing here at Iowa for the fourth race of the Crown Athletics Racing Tour, season number 1. Back here with Walker and Zach here. Sean here with Brady. Zach is, might as well say he was up there kissing that wall, just from the looks of it, down the front straightaway. I don't know why they call it a straightaway here at Iowa. It's really not a straightaway. It's more of a, kind of what you would see at a Kansas, not a Kansas, more like a Chicagoland, where it's slightly turned all the way down the straightaway. Then you got the back straightaway that is actually straight, going down to turn number 3. We got battle back here with Brad E. Peters and company. I almost went 3 wide. I think that was the 45 of Brian Jones. He was thinking about it. He thought better of it, but the 06, Brad Peters up into the wall coming out of turn number 2. Everybody was able to avoid him, and he was able to avoid them trying to get that car off the wall. So good driving by everybody there involved. As Jared Rashawn is trying to work his way up to the 4th spot. That one there. 06 for Tom Bourne. It looks like Tom's going to have it there on the outside. Get back up here with Zach Lindgren, Aiden Kirker. Aiden's going to lead his 14th lap. And can't forget about Walker Thomas here either. He's creeping up there on the 85 Lindgren. He's wanting to take that second spot away from the 85. Not make it easy on him. It looks like when Walker gets up to Zach just pulls it up to Aiden Kirker here. As Walker is really off the pace down the front straightaway going down into turn number 1. I don't know if he just might have lost it coming out of the turn. Yes, that's what happened to him. He lost it coming out of turn number 4. Now he's back here with Tom Bourne and Brian Jones as they're looking to get around him. And Brian is going to go up the 4th spot as Tom made contact there with the outside wall. Going down the front straightaway, going down to turn number 1. And the battle for the lead is heating up. As we have Aiden Kirker, Zach Lindgren. 2 common names I mentioned a lot on Tuesday nights. And these drivers are out here again, nose to tail with each other. Looking to proclaim that lead. Kirker right now, he's got the bragging rights per se. He's been out here 17 laps leading, make that 18 laps now. And Lindgren is looking for his first lap led. Let's go ahead and get a octane cam here with Zach Lindgren. have to deal with that. Oh, Aiden Kirker is losing it. Coming. Oh, no. Aiden Kirker has wrecked, and it won't let me click on him. And we're staying green flag racing. Wow. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at that from the TV cam. And yeah, it just looks like just wiggled it loose. I don't know if that was just the arrow from the 85 that got him to do that. But unfortunate for Aiden Kirker, he went around, and iRacing determined no caution for you. So he is back down to 11th now. And Zach has taken the lead here this evening, as now we have a caution. And it would be the 12? Yep, self-spin once more, and he locks it down, and just because he stopped, I don't know, that's kind of weird how it didn't throw one for Kirker, but the very next lap, Walker Thomas spins out, and that one's going to be a caution. Okay. Sometimes iRacing just gives you one of those, all right, I guess. As everybody is down pit road, Lindgren, Jones, Bourne, Peters, Rashawn, Carrington, Williams is staying out. Old move there by Williams. Carrington, Yarnell, Scotty Grove, Lindgren, Kirker, Thomas. All except Bradley Williams. Bradley is going to be the one and only to gamble here. Been out here 24 laps and 20th in green. Here. About 16. Yeah, he did back out on the track. I did catch that there at the tail end. Now, that's probably why iRacing deemed that a caution, but man, it's just one of those things, there was nobody, I don't think there was anybody coming behind him, so it's kind of like the same thing with NASCAR. If there's nobody around, why throw the caution if they're trying to get back underway? But, They try to simulate NASCAR as best as possible when it comes to the cautions and everything. So I can't blame them for that. That's on NASCAR's end. But I will say the only thing they do have to add is stage racing. That's the only thing iRacing has to add. Even though personally I don't like it. It just, I don't know. It goes like you could dump the first stage, or the second stage. I mean, I know stage points are important and everything, but it just, I don't know. I miss the NASCAR of the 90s, early 2000s, where it just green, checkered, whatever happened in between that happened. There was no stage points, none of this, stage breaks and all that stuff. But that's neither here nor there, in my opinion. NASCAR ain't going to change just because I don't personally like something. So it's just something we're going to all live with, as Bradley Williams is back on the loud pedal. We are back green flag racing here Yeah, it did look like they spun out almost in the identical same spot as we're almost 4 wide there. And now the 87 looks like he was able to save it there. Good job, good racing by everybody there. But yeah, back to your point, yeah, it was kind of ironic how both drivers almost spun out in the exact same spot. Walker Thomas kind of spun out later into 3, where Aiden Kirker really lost it going into 3. But yeah, it was pretty much identical. And that's pretty much been our cautions here tonight. Just self-spins with drivers here tonight. And Iowa is kind of one of those tracks where it's, you know, really driver focused. As we're on Bradley again, he's almost spun out, and he is gonna drive it right into pit road. He is like, I am done with that set of tires. I do not like how this feels. He's on pit road. Gonna get 4 tires on that machine and get back out here on track. No. Oh no, Bradley, there we go. Did I get on Bradley? Why did I clicked on the wrong guy. We do have 1 driver out of the race. The 32 of Dylan Williams has taken it behind the wall. Walker Thomas, one of those drivers that had a little mishap earlier on in the race. Didn't completely, well, he was the caution, but earlier in the race he was up towards the front and he had a little mishap, was able to save and fell back, and then ultimately, you know, as we all saw, he was the last caution there with the self-spin. Was not quite able to save it that time, but he's got himself up to 8th spot. Aiden Kirker is another one of those drivers who had a mishap earlier on in the race. Lap before Walker Thomas brought out the caution, Aiden Kirker went for a little ride himself. Going down into turn number 3, it looked like it just snapped on him. And around Zach Lindgren went, and Zach has been up front ever since. So Zach at 12 laps led here. Aiden Kirker has led 19, so at this rate, Zach, if he doesn't get any pressure there from Brian, but Brian's working that outside really good there. Zach will proclaim the most laps led here early on in the race. But still a long way to go. We're only on lap 35 here, 150 here at Iowa. And I mean, it's a short track, so obviously it's going to go by fast. If they stay green, who was that? Tom Bourne. Senate. See what happened here to Tom. It happened on the front straightaway, coming out of turn number 4. And he just got loose there right at the end of turn number 4 and down and into the inside pit wall. And that is, I was going to say, that's going to be some required. But he's still out here on track. I tell you right now, that car cannot be turning too well for him. After that impact he took, and he was drifting that turn. I think we had Brian Jones, and that will be our caution here. So let's go ahead and see what happened to that 45 machine of Brian Jones. Going down into turn number 1, and another that just snapped on him. I don't know if I've ever seen the amount of cars snap like that here at Iowa. you either just like lose it or it's something new to me. And it looks like we don't have any takers on pit road, at least with the top 4. Looks like from 5th on back, they're all coming down pit road from Walker Thomas all the way down to James Given. I don't know. Something like that. Just gonna call him James. Given. Yeah. I think I got his name right. If I, screw it up too bad, if he watches the broadcast, you can go ahead and, give me a little heads up. Yeah, the bumps in 1 or 2 are really bad, especially if you get up to that higher side in 1 and 2. Definitely not a place you want to be at. But yeah, I know the last time I raced here, my problem was the exit of 4. Getting out of 2, going through 1 and 2 wasn't a big deal for me. It was coming out of turn number 4 where we saw Tom, the 06 machine, where he lost it coming out of turn number 4 and he drove it down to the pit wall. I have done that, but my experience is I've done that before, where I hit the barrels there at the end of pit road. Oh, right before pit road, I should say. I do want to apologize real quick too for any quick pauses that happened during the broadcast with the screen. That is just my GPU going ahead and thinking, kind of like my brain does from time to time. It pauses. As we are back under green flag racing, as I'm looking through chat here. Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with the rear diffuser that's on these cars. Try to get them to set so low to the ground that they like to grab onto the track. And we got Aiden Kirker here. He's back up to 3rd. Remember, he was one of those drivers who have already had a mishap here on track tonight. He's fought his way back up to 3rd. Walker Thomas here is in 5th spot. He's had a few himself. And you got Nathan Yarnell here in 6th spot. Well, he's going to fall back to 7th as Tom is going to go ahead and get around Nathan. But Zach Lindgren is now taking the most laps led. As, did it again. Seems like every time it dips below 75% usage, it like takes a quick, it's like a heartbeat. It's good, drop it. So I'm going to have to go ahead and look into upgrading my GPU. Unfortunately, something I didn't want to have to do, but, you know, what was great technology just a couple years ago is no longer great. It's obsolete. It's kind of amazing how quickly everything can become outdated. But one thing that has not been outdated is short track racing. It does not disappoint on the action. Don't know where it's going to happen at, when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen as Jared has fallen all the way back to 9th spot. And he is, well, he's 3 laps down. He started in 6th. He's hoping to get a few of those, lucky cautions come his way. Get himself back on the win lap. As battle for second might be heating up here momentarily. As Hayden Kirker about 4/10 behind Brad Peters. Definitely a battle we're keeping our eyes on. It's the closest one out here on track right now. And he was able to close it, and then he lost a little bit of ground. I don't know if Brad is playing some games with him, or if Aiden's just trying to search to get out of the dirty air. Dirty air in these next-gen cars are horrendous. PC has a murmur. Yeah, I just got to give it a little tap there to get it back on track. That's all it is. It's like me. You get struggling a little bit, just got to give it a little tap there on the chest. Get it back going as we have the caution once more. And it looks like it is the 15 of Nathan Yarnell. So let's go ahead and see what happened to Nathan here. And looks like one of them self-spins once again. Looks like he clipped the apron this time now. Well, actually, he started getting loose before that. The apron went ahead and finished him off. So that will bring out another caution here tonight. I would expect everyone coming down pit road this time as well, why are the lights on saying it's not open? They're coming down pit road. Am I the only one that caught that? iRacing said pit road was closed on the lights, but they came down pit road. But everyone came down pit road, so end of the longest line. I mean, no. Obviously pit road was open, because for some reason it. Well, there we go with another heartbeat skip. I mean, obviously, I think I can fix it if I just went ahead and turned my graphics down a little bit. I really don't want to do that because I kind of like how the graphics are, where they're where they're sitting at. But obviously, if I have to, I have to for the time being. But obviously, I'm not going to do that right now because that would require me to do the most unbroadcasty thing, and that would be to show the iRacing interface here on the broadcast. I don't even know if that's a word, unbroadcast. If not, I just invented it, so. Should be getting the one to go here next time by. Yes. One to go, and we got Walker Thomas back up to the point. And Brad D. Peters second, Zach Linger in third, Hayden Kerber fourth, Nathan Yarnell fifth, Tom Bourne sixth, John Carrington seventh, Scotty Grove eighth, Jared Rashawn rounded out the field in ninth, and Jared is now 2 laps down. Yeah, it's only a quarter second, but it does become annoying for me when it happens repeatedly over and over and over again. It becomes a big nuisance for me. One of those quarter seconds add up to a lot of seconds over a course of a broadcast. As the green flag is back out, we are back underway here at Iowa for the 4th race of the Crown Athletics Racing Tour. We're going to see here, usually about around lap 15 is when somebody tends to lose it just a little bit. So we'll see here if these drivers can go ahead and manage to get a long run in, or if Zach is just going to go ahead and door that 12 machine to Walker. Zach's like, I want the lead back. I know it's only lap 60, but I know what these new tires are capable of, and I don't want to be behind you when these wear out. And Zach put him back up to the point. He has not cleared Walker yet, as he's cleared now. Now, Zach is back up to the lead, and you're seeing a lot of these drivers using, well, I guess Walker's the only one now. But they were using that mid to high line, and now they're all using the low line to get around Walker Thomas here, at least early on in the run. Now, oh, there was a big freeze. That was more than a quarter second there that time. That really took a big arc drop. I tried a few different things here to see if it would be something within the graphics card that was doing that, or if it was just the fact that it was one of those things. It's just time to update, and it's time to update it. Market for one of those here in very shortly. Well, quickly. Not shortly. Very quickly. Get back here. Walker has fallen back to fifth spot now. Restarted up front. Slowly fell back. And you got a little bit of a gap here. You got about a second and a half gap between Walker and Scotty here in sixth spot. You got John Carrington about a second behind Scotty Grove. And Nathan Yarnell is about 2/10 behind John. And that is the closest battle on track right now with Yarnell and John Carrington here. Battle for seventh spot. You got Jared Rashawn right behind both of them, but he is 2 laps down currently. As John is, looked like he was trying to do some snaking down the front straightaway. Oh yeah, I think of it. He got loose coming out of 4 and he maybe? I don't know. It looks like Brad is creeping up a little bit onto the 85 of Lindgren. I mean, he's still about 3/10 of a second behind, but just a couple laps ago, it was right around 5/10, so he's definitely making some gains there a little bit. And you got Aiden Kirker here, right about a second behind Brad Peters, and about 1.2 seconds behind the leader, Zach Linger. Back here, check on these two here. You know, it's a battle for 7th. It's still a battle that is taking shape. Every position does matter. Now my internet glitched out. Awesome. Way to go, Spectrum. If it ain't my GPU, it's going to be my internet service, so that, you gotta love that. Every now and then my internet does that. Don't know why. It's random. As John oh, looks like we got somebody. Who was that? Tom Bourne down here. And it looks like we're going to stay green flag racing this time. Let's go ahead and take a look to see what happened to Tom here. He was running pretty good. And, yeah, just lost. And stayed on, I guess you want to call that the drag strip. Even though it's not really a drag strip. But I'll just call it the drag strip. And I kept it off the racing surface, so no caution. We stay green flag, and he is in 8th spot. Hell, can't win for losing. Absolutely cannot. This is why I do not gamble, and this is why I do not play the lottery, because even if I did, it's just wasting money. Ain't no point in doing it, because I ain't going to win it. Zach has now led 49 laps here tonight. He's almost working his way up to securing the most laps led. He's got Aiden Kirker here, who's sitting third. Aiden has led 19 laps, so Zach still has not locked it up, but he's working on locking it up here very quickly. You got Walker Thomas here in fifth spot. Scotty Grove has worked his way up to fourth, up 5 spots from where he started the race here tonight. And that double nickel TV machine. And get back here. The battle with Yornell and Creighton are still going on. Now was able to get in front of John for the time being. And we got John running the bottom, Nathan running more of the mid to top line there. And Walker Thomas got on him, and there was smoke coming out of his left front, so something happened to Walker we just missed. I don't know if he was trying to lock it up to possibly come down pit road. Just decided to stay out for another lap here. We're going to stay with him. They've been out here for 25 laps. You're not coming down pit road. I think he was just might have just trying to get his car back under control. We caught the very tail end of that. Or maybe he was just taking a hit off his vape pen. I don't know if he vapes or not. I'm just saying. You know how they did it back in the old days. They didn't care. But they didn't have vapes. And now Aiden Kirker is up to the second spot. He is right around 0.8 of a second behind our leader here. Definitely going to have to keep our eyes out on battle here for the lead. Would hope you guys have I just realized you guys didn't have the ticker. I do apologize for that. It's probably been like that the whole race too, hasn't it? We're still doing all that hiccuping without the ticker running, so that makes it even weirder. Oh well. Gotta have fun with it. Gotta, take everything in stride. I got to pick on him only because it's been notorious with broadcasts with him this season. Aiden Kirker, he has been notorious for finishing second this year. He has yet to find his way into victory lane, and right now he's sitting in that spot once more. I mean, obviously, there's still plenty of time. Anything can happen in between lap 87 and lap 150. But it's just something I got to pick on Aiden about. He's been in this situation several times because I got to pick on Aiden. My computer decided to give me a burp. So thank you, computer. Thank you, GPU, for giving me that lovely little burp at the right time. Yeah, for a while. I try to... What you guys see on the broadcast is what I see on screen, but I've been focusing so far to the left at the timing screen, I haven't been really focusing on what you guys are seeing. I just missed it. So that's my bad, but fortunately, like you said, I was able to cover the entire field. It's a lot easier to do on a short track. There's not, you know, a whole lot of side-by-side racing when it comes down to about 10-15 laps into a run. As Walker Thomas here in 6th spot is driving pretty slow. At least it looked like it to me. He's going about 150 here. I mean, he's been out here 35 laps. So. And as I say that, Walker Thomas is coming down pit road. So he's the first driver to make a green flag pit stop here tonight. And that will put him I think he you know, obviously he'd go on fuel, but it's going to be the tire situation. I don't think he's going to be able to do it on the tires. He might have to come down one more time. Yeah, Walker possibly could have been recovering from a self-spin. It's just one of those things you just don't know. But, you know, this battle, it was around 8-9 tenths of a second. Now we're at about 3 tenths of a second between Lindgren and Kirker now. So Aiden, he started around, restarted about 5th, 6th spot, somewhere around there. He's worked his way up to 2nd, and now he has found his way almost to the back bumper of Lindgren. But as the saying goes, it's one thing to catch them. It's another thing to pass them. As Aiden has dropped from 3 tenths to 7 tenths of a second now. And now it's going to drop down to right around 8 tenths of a second. It could have been Lindgren too, just saving his stuff. And deciding now hit the gas and get it back rolling, get a little bit of a gap, and then go ahead and roll it back a little bit, let Eddie catch up, and then hit the gas again. And one of those cat and mouse games out here on track here at Iowa. Could be. I'm not saying that's what's happening, because obviously we don't get all that intel, but it could be one of those situations. I mean, we're right back up there, about 8.5 seconds, 8.5 tenths, not 8.5 seconds. Oh my goodness. And, it looks like Walker Thomas, he's been out here 5 laps now. John is another driver who's made his pit stop. He is 5 laps down. And looks like from 9th on back to 13th, they have taken their cars behind the wall. And this is the only battle that's close. 3rd is almost 6 seconds behind 2nd. This is where the battle's at right now. Go ahead, computer. Off it up. Get that bad stuff out of you. As Aiden Kirker is now coming down pit road. And whoo! He gets style points for that one. I gotta give him points for that one. That was that was very cool how he entered pit road. almost ended his night. Back on Lindgren here. He is the, well, you got him, Brad, Scotty, Nathan, and Jared. But Jared's 2 laps down. So you got 4 cars that have yet to make their pit stop on the lead lap. Walker Thomas is now up to 5th, 1 lap down. But remember, he was the first driver to make his pit stop, and he's already been out here 10 laps. He's got to go another, golly, I don't know if he can go over, I mean, obviously he can go over 40 laps on fuel. Now, you go the rest of the way on fuel. It's the tires that's the question. I mean, obviously the guys, Zach and them, yeah, they come down now. They'll be more than good on tires. Unless there was a strategy Walker played, that could very well be the case. Very talented driver. And strategy has proven to be a very good thing in the races I've been broadcasting. So it could be a rabbit that he, just here's a little trick I'm gonna throw up my sleeve, and maybe I'll be able to play it, maybe I won't. And he's decided to throw it out there and leave it all out in the line as. Aiden Kirker here is 3 laps down. Walker is only 1 lap down. So even if, let's say, Lindgren, Peters, Scotty, Nathan all come down next time by. Walker, well, Nathan's 1 lap down. I take that back. So it'll be the top 3. Aiden Kirker will still be a lap down. Jared Rashawn still be a lap down. So, is Zach playing the I'm going to run it to the end strategy? I don't know, because, I mean, you're going to go down 2 laps. Well, now he's 2 laps down. You're going to go 2 laps down here in Iowa, regardless of, what kind of, well, I mean, if you take fuel only, it's short pit stop, you might lose 1 lap, but 4 tires fuel, you're losing 2 laps. No, he must have got it down to pit road speed. He might have slowed it down a little bit too much just to be able to get control back with the car, and that probably cost him some time, which is probably why Jared is ahead of him. But time will tell here as, Lindgren, he's been out here 57 laps on this set of tires. And he's about 2 seconds off the pace from his best lap. Not quite 2 seconds, but he's working on the 2 second mark. Brad D. Peters here in second spot. And he's been out here 58 laps, coming to 59. So he looks like he's on the same strategy as Lindgren. And you got Scotty Grove here. He's been out here 57 laps on this set. And he's in third spot. He is sitting right about 6.5 seconds behind Brad, about 15.5 behind the leader. As you're seeing Walker get around him, Aiden Kirker, Derek Rashawn is going to go ahead and try to work his way around him. Last car 2 laps down. Yarnell is the first driver 1 lap down. And you got Walker Thomas, the second driver, 1 lap down. But we're still waiting for Lindgren and Peters to come down pit road, as well as Scotty. Nathan Yarnell, he's been out here 61 laps. He's been out here as long as the front 3. Maybe he's doing the same strategy, but he's a lap down. So, best case scenario for him, he finishes 4th. But you'd think Walker would be catching him. Walker is sitting right around 10 seconds behind Nathan right now. So this has by far been, excuse me, I had to do a computer burp there. Little yawn. This has been by far the longest stint of the race here tonight at Iowa for these drivers. And looks like Aiden Kirker is going to unlap himself the old-fashioned way. And go ahead and put him 1 lap down once he crosses the start-finish line. So all he has to do is go around the whole track again, unlap himself, and then go around the whole track again to get the lead. And, oh, by the way, he's got under 30 laps to do that. Here we thought, I thought pit strategy was going to play a factor. It might not be a no pit strategy that plays a factor. We've got 2 drivers, well actually the top 3 have not pitted. Walker Thomas is the first driver to make a pit stop. He's been out here 30 laps. Well, 31 now. He is still a lap down. He's about 6 seconds behind Nathan, who's also been out here for 67 laps. So he's been out here the same amount of time as the leaders, the top 3. As you see Aiden Kirker coming up on him, and he's going to be able to get around him with no problem. But Kirker is 2 laps down. He's 20 seconds roughly behind Walker. And Zach, you guys ain't going to believe this. It is almost a 9.5-second lead between first and second. And Zach has led at 98 laps here tonight. So lock him as the most laps led here at Iowa tonight. I don't even have to go through the rest of the field to confirm that. That is a confirmation. 98 laps, well, 99 now. Zach is chalked up most laps led. But obviously he wants to lead the last lap. You got Scotty here. He's sitting right about almost 6.5 seconds behind Brad for second. And you got two drivers, one lap down. You got Nathan Yarnell, Walker Thomas. They're both a lap down. But Walker right about 3/10 now behind Nathan. As Nathan had an issue there coming out of turn number 4. So put Walker as the first driver, one lap down now. Back up here to Brad Peters here in second spot. What kind of oh, Dr. Squash. Nicely done there, Brad. Don't say so myself. Go ahead and do a roll bar with Peters here. See that sun glaring into your eyes. Do a cockpit. That way you get a full effect of what the driver's seeing going down into turn 3 and 4. With that sun, as you can see it right there on your left side right now, going down into turn number 3 and 4, and right there just that actually has more effect on you than you realize, especially on the tracks to where it's directly in your face. Oh, man, let me tell you. But Zach is, I'm just going to say this. He's going for staying out here for the rest of the race. He ain't coming down pit road. He's been out here 80 laps. We're down to 26 laps to go here tonight, I do believe, if I did my math right in my head. Oh, 16 to go, so I was 10 off. Because I don't know how to count. But yeah, I forgot to tell you guys, 4 cautions, 18 caution laps, 5 lead changes. Now we're down to 15 laps to go. I don't bet, but I'm telling you, Zach is not coming down pit road. You know what, computer? Just because I said I don't bet, don't mean you got a glitch on me. And you got Brad Peters here. He's now 9.3, well, right around 9.3 seconds behind the leader. You got Scotty Grove. He's sitting at 14. 1.4-ish seconds behind the leader. And everybody else is either a lap down or 2 laps down or more. So really, it's a matter of Zach. Can he maintain that car? We've seen a couple drivers tonight up in the front and towards the front who have self-spun, and they're currently sitting 4th and back in the 6th spot. Oh, I can't even tell you the last time I raced at Darlington. Man, now I almost have to get that evening sunset going on, just to see that sun shining right into your eyeballs. That's one thing I do like about iRacing. They mimic it so well. The only thing that you're missing is the G-force. It's the only thing you're missing. Just the sound, the sights of it all, it's so realistic. Just, that force that you're missing behind the wheel. And that's one thing you cannot replicate, at least not yet. I mean, there's simulators out there that try to, but nothing can duplicate feeling G-forces on your body on a sim racing rig. Let me put it that way. Obviously, you go to NASA and you can get all the G-force experience that you want in a simulator, but as far as when it comes to plugging it into your computer and racing online, yeah, it hasn't reached that point yet. Yeah, they're going to have some really good throwbacks there at Darlington. I'm not, with these next-gen cars, I really haven't been a fan of them. But with the throwback paints that they're coming out with, with Hendrick, that whole organization, what they've done. You got RCR, the paints they're coming out with. I mean, you just keep going down the list of all the drivers that are doing throwbacks. It literally feels like it's going to be an old school race, but it's not because of these freaking next gen cars. You put the gens. I want the 90s back. I miss my 90s. Oh, good thing you're not a driving instructor here in Ohio. Good thing you were down there in Georgia. But yeah, that's good to good to see. I'm in favor of scrapping the next gen. I'm just saying. They're trying to do Formula One, and it don't work on a 3,600-pound freaking car, especially when your center of gravity is a lot higher. But we're coming down to 3 laps to go here tonight, and Zach Lindgren, he's gonna do it. Brad D. Peters looks like he's gonna finish in 2nd, and then Scotty Grove. He started in 9th, and he is sitting in 3rd, the last podium spot right now. So we got 3 more laps to go to confirm all these positions here. Anything can happen. Definitely going to have to keep our eyes out on here and watch. We're down to 2 laps to go. He's got another lap and a half here to go. Zach Lindgren does to go ahead and clinch a win here tonight at Iowa, coming out of turn number 4 for the second to last time. White flag is out in the air. This is the last lap. The next flag, which will be the checker flag, will end the race here tonight under regulation. Yeah, it's supposed to be a stock car, not a super car. I mean, obviously we know stock left a long time ago, but yeah, I've never seen a stock car with a rear diffuser on it. I mean, I have, but they're called luxury sport cars. They're not, you know, a Mustang. But Lindgren grabbing the victory here tonight. Brad Dean Peters is going to finish second. Scotty Grove is going to come out of turn number 4. And is he even going to get to the start-finish line? Yes, he's going to do a Ricky Bobby. He's going to back it through the start-finish line to finish in third. But Zach Lindgren is going to go ahead here and burn it up here at the start-finish line. So congratulations to Lindgren here on grabbing the victory here tonight, folks. We're going to go ahead, step away, and get our top 3 up in the broadcast booth. So don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. Alrighty, folks, welcome back. I have found the top three, managed to get them into the broadcast booth. So we're going to go ahead and start with our third place finisher here tonight in that 55 machine. And that would be Scotty Grove. So let's go ahead and get him into the broadcast booth here, if it'll work, as it didn't work for me when I moved myself up there. So now that we managed to get into the broadcast booth, Scotty, interesting race here tonight, to say the least, here for the first short track of the season here for the Crown Athletics Racing Tour. Go ahead and talk about, how was the race for you here tonight at Iowa?
There's just nowhere or all wear and no real rubber left on them because it was ice. You're turning right more than you're turning left in the center of the corner. But I gotta say, it was fun for a little while. I don't think I made 5 consecutive laps in practice, so I don't know how we did 93 there at the end.
Yeah, 93 at the last stint for you, Scotty. Really, really impressive considering, the drivers that were still out there on track, they all came down and made a pit stop other than you, your three there. And, we had a lot of self-spins, and it looked like it was just, it was kind of weird because it was kind of one of them where the rear looked like it kicked out a little bit, and then all of a sudden it just shot right up into the wall. Was that something you experienced when you couldn't get your 5 laps in?
You pretty much hit the nail on the head. It's usually you get loose with throttle. This one you got loose under braking with throttle in the center of the corner. So it was fun. I will say it's a challenge, but we had fun with it. Just try to pace myself that first part of the run and run halfway close to the times that the top guys were running. Then we kind of run better laps. Was able to run Brad down a little bit, and then just trying to get too much and got loose twice there in the last, I think, 7 laps, and then we Ricky Bobbied it across the finish line, like you said.
Yeah, the good old inner Ricky Bobby. Just going to go ahead and pull it straight to the left and roll it backwards through the start-finish line, which I'm glad you were able to, because there for a second, I didn't think you were going to. It's like, so close, but yet somehow, you managed to just creep it past that start-finish line. So congrats on, your P3 finish here tonight. But looking forward, May 15th, we go ahead and hit Talladega. The second super speedway race of the season here for the Crown Athletics Racing Tour. Obviously, we know the game here. It's always a crapshoot when it comes to super speedway racing. But go ahead and talk about, what are you looking forward to as far as the challenges when it comes to Talladega on the 15th?
Honestly, with me, it's just getting it over with because I'm not a plate racing fan. So we'll try to stay clean and then make a run there at the last 5 to 10 laps and hopefully be close to the front and have a shot at it.
All right. Well, hey, sometimes that's the way it works out. As far as strategy goes, just staying out of the way, everybody else's way till the end of the race where it counts. And hopefully
give yourself a shot.
You give yourself a shot, and hopefully you have a friend or two behind you to give you assistance there on the end of the race. But before we go ahead and let you go here, Scotty, and celebrate your P3 finish here at Iowa, any final thoughts, shout-outs you want to give before you go celebrate your P3 finish?
Oh, I appreciate it, man. I'd like to thank you for broadcasting the race, of course. I'd like to thank the guys in the league for putting this on. Magnolia Laser, I'd like to thank those folks, and also my teammates over at Black Car Mafia. Got a couple guys in here that thinking about them. They got some family stuff going on, both of them, so they haven't been able to make it for the past couple weeks. So thinking about those guys, but appreciate everyone involved and you once again, man. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Scotty, for coming out here and coming out and supporting the league and getting on track here with these guys. And we'll see you back out on the track on the 15th of May at Talladega. But until then, Scotty, enjoy this P3 finish. And, we'll see you after Mother's Day.
Yep. We'll see you then, man. Thanks again, and thanks everyone involved.
All right. Thank you. All right. That will take us up to our second place finish here tonight. and that will be the '05 of Brad D. Peters. Let's get him up here in the broadcast booth. Well, Brad, just didn't have it enough in you to get that P1 finish here tonight, but P2 strategy ultimately played a huge factor here tonight. I mean, staying out here 95 laps here at the tail end of the race. Go ahead and talk about how was the race for you. How was the race for you here at Iowa tonight?
Oh, well, like you said, it was definitely with strategy involved and had to play the cards there and trying to save tire. My car didn't run too bottom or run too good on the bottom. I was really sketchy over the bumps I wanted to, so I've tried to run right above that seam through the middle of the corner. Worked best for me, and I was just trying to keep pace with Zach. Obviously, he had a a lot better car than I did and managed his stuff a lot better than I did, but I just got the roll on the top a little too much, and with doing that, it just kind of burned up the right rear tire. So that's where the separation kind of came from. But it was a handful there at the end, just trying to keep the tires, on it and keep the car pointed straight because it would be real easy just to kind of cross over the seam just right and get the car out of shape. And but all in all, it was a great run and had a lot of fun for sure.
Yeah, it looked like it was a lot of fun, and you alluded to with those bumps in 1-2. It looked like a lot of drivers were having more of the problem either coming into turn 3 or coming out of turn number 4. Either with the entry or just getting on too much of the throttle, getting out of turn number 4. Was that an issue you were having as well, or was it just those bumps in 1 and 2?
Uh, Main for me, it was mostly 1 and 2, 3 and 4. I felt like I was rolling the center a lot better there. Um, also feel like I could run the bottom a lot better there too. Um, but once the tires started falling off, I kind of was committed at that point to run the top or the middle lane there. But I think it was more for me. It was just more 1 and 2. The bumps got me more out of shape kind of thing. So um, but all in all, I think, if I'd have just probably rolled the bottom to start with, I think it would have paid dividends for me anyways. I could have probably kept pace with Zach, but congrats to him because he did a great job and big win for Elite Motorsports running 1-2 there.
Yeah, very good night for you guys, and we go ahead. We have an off week next week, but the 15th, we go ahead and hit Talladega for the second super speedway race of the season. It's a little bit different than Daytona, but the aspect of the race is still the same. We're drafting teammates, all that still matter. So go ahead and talk about what are your expectations going into Talladega in 2 weeks.
Well, I think it'll be a lot of a lot of teammates working together trying to save fuel, and um, I don't know. Every race has its own story to tell, obviously, when those super speedway races. But I feel like the race will start off pretty slow and trying to save fuel and trying to find that moment in time to when we can work together to kind of separate ourselves. And but it's going to be hard to tell because if get a caution or anything, it can change all that. But um, as always, though, Talladega is unpredictable, I guess you could say. But I feel pretty good about our team and our teammates because we all run really well and work well together in the draft. So I feel pretty confident about that. And like you said, it'll be in a couple weeks, so we'll have a week to kind of think things over.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Brad, before we go ahead and let you go and celebrate your second place finish, and ultimately, you got an off week next week to collaborate with your teammates and everything to come up with a game plan for Talladega. But until all that happens, any final thoughts, shout outs you want to give before we go ahead and let you celebrate your P2 in that '05 Dr. Squash machine?
Yeah, I just want to thank my teammates. They're really really good assets to me. Congrats to Zach for winning, and want to say thanks to Walker for putting on a great league. It was a fun race tonight, and shout out to NOS Energy and Dr. Squatch on my team, and we'll be back next couple weeks for the next race.
Awesome. Looking forward to that, Brad. Enjoy the off week here next week, and more importantly, enjoy this P2 finish. See you in 2 weeks at Talladega.
I appreciate it. And also, I want to say thank you for broadcasting. I appreciate what you do too.
All right. Thank you, Brad. I appreciate it. And looking forward to seeing what that 05 has in store at Talladega.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. All right, that will bring us to the 85 of Zach Lindgren. And he is no stranger to the broadcast booth, but we're going to pull him up here anyway and go ahead and let him talk about how the race was for him here tonight at Iowa. Go ahead and talk about it, Zach. How was it?
Well, it was definitely a race. I've never had to battle a car that loose and for as many laps as I had that we had tonight. The car was really loose on new tires, insanely loose on old tires. So when you go from running 24s, 24 and a halves, and then you start running 25s, 25 and a halves, it really starts to break your momentum, and it really starts to break your flow that you have going. So tonight was difficult, but it was fun. A lot of strategies were starting to play out right there at the end. A lot of people trying different things. It was a really fun race. I thought it was really cool. It was a blast for me. And I'm not just saying. I'm trying not to say that as the winner. I'm trying to say that as somebody like just the difficulty of the car coming to a track like this where it's very fast, tires that wear very quick. I thought it was, to me, is a fun little combination. Like I said, usually these cars are extremely difficult to drive, and again, they were tonight. So it's cool to bring home a win in these things.
Yeah, and you alluded to the time difference. Your best time was a 23.446, and the last lap you ran was a 25.265. So you're talking almost 2-second difference between your best lap and the last lap. And by the way, your best lap that you ran was on lap 1. No, never mind. It won't tell me what lap it was.
It would have been fun if it was on lap 1, though. The very first lap.
No, it wasn't on lap 1. But it's not giving me that date. Obviously, if I would sign out of iRacing, it would. But I don't have that in ATVO. But I mean, still, 2-second difference, and you stayed out 95 laps at the end to grab the win. As fourth on back, they were like, "No, we're not even attempting that. We're coming down pit road after lap 30." And
well, we were keeping a close eye when it came down to me, Aiden, and Brad. They were kind of top 3. We were keeping a close eye on how well Walker was doing and how well he was running. And once he got around me the first time and he took off about 7 seconds within a matter of 4 or 5 laps, I was kind of getting a little concerned. I thought for sure if he came back around and caught me before lap 125, I knew I was in trouble. So we just kind of gauged it from there. And luckily it panned out on our side. But I'm not gonna lie, I was when he started calling that strategy and they came down and got new tires, I was like, well, I'm kind of in a place where I gotta hold out for as long as I can, and even if I do hold out, I think I'm kind of stuck on this set. So it was fun it was fun and breathtaking. I was holding my breath for majority of the race. 1, for the car pretty much spinning out of every corner, and 2, to see how quickly Walker caught back up to me.
Yeah, and not only did you win the race, you secured the most laps led with 123 laps led here tonight. Outstanding job.
Thank you.
I mean, no other words to say than that. I mean, that's just really amazing. And we look at the schedule here. Obviously, we are off next week, but next race is the 15th. We go ahead and head over to the virtual Talladega, the second super speedway race of the season here for the Crown Athletics Racing Tour. Even though it's kind of similar to Daytona, there's a lot of differences between the two tracks. So, go ahead and talk about what you're looking forward to going to Talladega in 2 weeks.
Yeah, like you said, even though they both kind of have the same characteristics, they are vastly different. At Talladega, you can run 3 wide comfortably. At Daytona, you can. as well. It's just a little bit more squished. But Talladega, you can run 3 wide comfortably, so that opens up the third lane a lot, and it really adds a whole different dynamic to the race. And if a lot of people show up in 2 weeks, I think you're going to see a lot of lane switching, a lot of possibly even blocks, but a lot of 3 wide action. A lot of these guys are good at super speedways. They know how to run it. They know what to look for in the cars, the lines, how to get up in front, how to block, how to lead, how to push. So these cars are very very draft friendly. They suck up real quick. They can take a bump. It's just a matter of kind of positioning yourself. If you get stuck somewhere, you're kind of out to lunch. So it's all about positioning, especially coming down towards the end of the race. You don't want to be at the back of the pack, because if they keep it straight all the way to the line, then obviously you're out almost 20 positions. But you also might not want to be up front, because your heart's going a million miles a minute trying to stay in front of 16 different people all coming at you at the same speed. So I think it's just going to come down to positioning, right moves at the right time, and making it to the end. That's the biggest one, is making it to the end without any kind of damage.
Yeah, that's always the biggest challenge when it comes to super speedway racing. When it comes to Talladega and Daytona, just trying to survive to be there at the last lap, because you never know what can happen, and really, it can happen anywhere. It can happen, like you said, front, middle, back. There's really no safe place to be. It's just Russian roulette and hoping for the best. But we got plenty of time for, I guess you could say, wreck avoidance, or whatever you want to call that kind of practice. Because obviously you're just going to be on the gas and turn left. But until then, we got a week here to recover from Iowa after all that hard work you put into the wheel here tonight, Zach.
Yeah.
But any final thoughts, shout outs you want to give before we go ahead and get those ice packs on your shoulders, and you go ahead and celebrate your P1 here tonight at Iowa?
Well, the ice pack going to have to go on the left wrist, because I could not feel it with about 25 to go. I almost started running one-handed. But no, a huge shout out to everyone at Elite Motorsports for being keeping everyone settled. We overcame some adversity early. I say we. Aiden overcame some adversity early with an early spin, and he was able to jump back up, and then some more adversity happened, but I think he was, able to keep with it, brought it home with top 5, so that's a really good run for him. Everybody that ran tonight, I think tonight was a difficult race, but a fun one nonetheless. You up here in the booth doing what you do. I hope you. I look forward to watching these the day after. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you up for doing what you do. Everybody back at home watching. Walker and everybody who puts on the league. This is one of the leagues that I look forward to. So I can't thank them enough for doing what they do for it. That's all I got for right now, buddy.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a pleasure to be up here and putting on a show for you guys, and being able to showcase what you guys are able to do talent-wise. And it was definitely a difficult night for the drivers that showed up here tonight, but still awesome show. Definitely looking forward to more.
Yes,
and
sir.
Talladega ain't gonna disappoint, and hopefully by then I'll have a new graphics card. Therefore, I won't be skipping every couple minutes, because it just lost for whatever reason. It started like 3 weeks ago. It just every so often it just wants to skip a beat. But until then, enjoy your victory here tonight at Iowa, Zach. And we'll see you at Talladega here in 2 weeks on the 15th for the Crown Athletics Racing Tour. Till then, enjoy this one.
I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome, Zach. All right, everybody. That will conclude the post-race interviews here tonight. So let's go ahead and get down to the results here for the 4th race at Iowa for season number 1. Zach Lindgren grabbing that top spot. Congratulations, Zach, once again on grabbing the victory here tonight. Brad Peters finishing second. Scotty Grove third. Walker Thomas fourth. Aiden Kirker fifth. Nathan Yarnell sixth. Sorry. Jared Rashawn seventh. John R. Creighton finishing eighth. Tom Boren ninth. James Langriven finishing 10th. Back in 11th, we got Brian Jones. In 12th, we have Bradley Williams. And then rounding out in 13th, Dylan Williams. Well, folks, that will conclude it here for Extreme Racing TV for the Crown Athletics Racing Tour. As I mentioned, we are off next Wednesday night. But we will be back on the 15th of May for Talladega. Make sure you guys tune in next Tuesday night for the ISRL League. Their playoff season kicks off next week as they go ahead and they hit Chicagoland for the first round of the Eliminator 12. So tune in for that one. But until then, folks, take care of yourselves and each other and have yourselves a great night.